What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and today we're going to be doing our Monday mock draft. We're going to start our mock draft, as we always do, with what I think will ultimately end up being the Aaron Rodgers trade. Second round pick this year, second round pick next year, a 2025 pick, third, and Aaron Rodgers coming back if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play in 2024. And so we're going to force this trade. And here's the two caveats that we're adding to this draft. At this point in time, with the draft strategies and what people are doing, we've fallen into a rut. We all know what everybody is thinking, what we're doing. Oh, tackle at 13. Oh, center at whatever. I might still make some of those picks. I might still do some of those things. But the idea of this year's draft is, one, we're going to move in this draft. We're going to trade back at least once. We're going to trade up at least once. And we're going to go and get the guys that we think can be impact players immediately. And that leads me to point number two. And point number two is we're going to get the guys that we believe can start immediately, especially in this year's draft. Guys that can come in and immediately be impact players. And so that's what we're going to do. And I forgot to slow this down because if Jalen Carter had made it to 9, I would have traded up with the Bears to get him, but he's not. And so we're at 13. We got a couple of teams that want to come up. And I think that the most interesting is going to be the Minnesota Vikings. Sending our pick, obviously, to the other division. But ultimately, it's about value when it comes to the point system. We know that the number 13 pick is worth 1,150 points, and the 23rd pick is worth 760 points. And so that gives us, but they don't have a lot of picks to compensate for that. Let's look at the Lions, because the Lions are interesting. So 1150, and the 18th pick is worth 900. They need to make up 240 points worth of stuff. And 48. Now, let's just see if they're desperate enough to do a pick like this. And it says there's a 54% chance of it going through, and they accepted it. Wow. So we recovered another second-round pick, and I'm going to go super slow here because with that much ammo, it gives us so much time to really evaluate what's going to happen and possibly move around this draft to get the guys that we want. And the guy that I would have taken at 13 is still there, and that's Calijah Kancey. So I'm going to take Calijah Kancey here, but we're really going to keep an eye out on what these teams are doing. Back-to-back Georgia players taken. Very interesting. And we're just going to see how the board falls, because I want to make sure that we're impacting this team in the best possible way, as quickly as possible and efficiently as possible. And you know what? I'm not waiting any longer. There's a guy at a position that I think we need, and for the 26th pick, the 26th pick is worth 700 points, and we're going to come up and we're going to get our guy. Pick 42 is worth 480 points. So we need to pay about 220 points. 112 is worth, I'm not giving you 48 because that'd just be a massive overpay. 112, like I said, is worth 70. And next year's third, mortgage the future. We're going to offer this trade. Let's see if Dallas accepts. Dallas does accept. Fantastic. And we came up to get Anton Harrison. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, wait, what? Why are we coming up to get a tackle? We could have gotten a tackle in the second round. Anton Harrison might end up being the best tackle in this draft. I truly, truly believe that. As of right now, he is the best pass protector in this draft. And the way that I look at it is, if I'm this coaching staff, I'm not giving anybody and on our team 100% like you're going to be having the starting job. I just don't think that's a realistic or a smart way to build this team. And all four of the tackles that are currently on the roster are going to be competing for those two spots. And I think that if you went and you played it that way, an offensive line of Mekhi Becton on the left side and Anton Harrison on the right side would be absolutely insane. And you saw my video before about possibly taking the fifth-year option on Mekhi Becton, but Anton Harrison can be a tackle for a long, long time in this league, and a really high-level one. He's an insanely good athlete, and I could not pass up the opportunity to solidify our offensive line, which we had a ton of injuries last year. And like I said, immediately can come in and be an impact player. We got to keep a second-round pick, which I think is super key in this mock draft, and we're going to take the center, Luke Whippler, out of Ohio State. And you know what? I'm going to speed up the draft because I don't feel like we have enough draft compensation, and I don't want to screw over next year when it comes to getting the guys that we need. Now, remember, the plan is to still draft players that can come in and impact this team immediately. And so we're going to keep on that trend. And in the fourth round here we don't have a fourth round pick because we traded our fourth round pick. But in the fifth round here, we're still going to be looking at getting impactful guys that can come in immediately and contribute to this team at a really high level. And I feel like the biggest position that we could use some help right now is probably, we got the interior defensive lineman in Calijah Kancey. We got the tackle in Anton Harrison. We got the center, which was a big position of need. I guess the biggest position of need at this point is probably going to be linebacker. We don't have a Quan Alexander replacement when it comes to that his ability there. So let's see the linebacker. Let's see what's on the board, and there isn't a bunch of guys that I feel super comfortable with. They feel like SirVocea Dennis with the 207 pick is actually something that I feel a lot more comfortable with, and I think that he can play at a high level. So is Ronnie Hickman the pick here? It makes a ton of sense. When you look at his snap count, he plays a lot of, obviously in the box and in deep, but he's got a really nice coverage grade for the Buckeyes. You know what? He can come in immediately. He can replace Jordan Whitehead. We can cut Jordan Whitehead and play Ronnie Hickman as a starting free safety, competing with Tony Adams, and have a really solid safety room. And then let's go to pick 207, see how the board falls, see if we can get our guy, and see if we can get another impactful player for this team. And you know what? SirVocea Dennis is still here, so very good to see that. Puka Nacua is here on the board. That, I'm not going to lie, that does interest me. But you know what? We're just going to take the linebacker. We need to get a Quan Alexander replacement, and SirVocea Dennis fits the bill for a guy that I feel comfortable being able to do that. Set this thing up for turbo, and we didn't do it quick enough. Pause, resume draft on, it's not going turbo. Let's see how we thought of this draft. Let's see if we impacted the team in a good enough way to go and win now. Remember that we traded for Aaron Rodgers in this mock draft. We can probably also go sign a guy or do something like that. But you know what? Here are the moves. The New York Jets trade out of 13 and go to 18 and get a second-round pick. And at 18, we take Calijah Kancey to immediately come in and line up next to Quinnen Williams, absolutely solidifying and annihilating any offensive line that we face and solidifying the defensive line on our end. We go and we trade up with not a super great trade when it comes to point value and all of those things, but getting our guy and making sure that we can go win a Super Bowl now, I think, is the most important thing. And we went and we got Anton Harrison, a guy that I absolutely love and would totally be cool with taking him at 13, let alone at 26. We get Luke Whippler in the second round, and then Ronnie Hickman in the fifth, and SirVocea Dennis in the sixth. And again, we didn't have a third or a fourth round pick because of the trades that we made and all of the moves that we had done and everything like that. So let me know what you guys think of this mock draft. It's a little bit different of a mock draft. Do I really think that we're going to trade back into the first round to go get our guy? Probably not, but it's a good thought experiment to go through and say, okay, what if we didn't have all these picks because we wanted to get impact guys that can start immediately and contribute to this team at a high level quickly? And by going this route, we get 4, even 5 guys, the way that I look at it, that immediately come into this team and can immediately provide impact and starts at every level, from special teams to the defense to the offense and all the way around. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And last but not least, go Jets.